Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the start of a new series, in which we will be building this car right here. Is a 1979 280ZX-R. The R doesn't stand for race, it stands for rust. What have I got myself into? But, unlike the rest of my life, I have a plan. Sort of. And that plan is to gut everything in the car and put all new parts. We're talking new suspension, new motor, new transmission, new brakes, but you get the point. The donor car will be a 2011 to 2015 V6 Mustang. But before you call the drivetrain a pussy's drivetrain, this V6 Mustang is special in that it doesn't suck. Because straight from the factory you get 305 horsepower with 280 foot-pounds of torque. And you get the MT82 transmission, which in my case is pretty good. This car originally had 135 horsepower. And that was a decent amount for the car, considering it's only 2,800 pounds. But I think 305 would be a lot more fun. What do you think? Including a 6-speed transmission rather than a 5. Nothing against 5 speeds. Matter of fact, I think the 5-speed sounds cooler than a 6-speed, just by name. But as far as throwing it through the gears, you have more gears to throw through, so it'd be more fun, right? Now, let's get back on track. As far as the looks go, we already kind of have it planned out a little bit, but I just kind of want to give you guys a visual of what I think the car would look like when it's finished. So, here on screen, you can see the front end of the car and the rear of the car. Now, in my opinion, it looks fabulous. Having the clean, no bumper look with the no side trim or anything look is great. It is going to have trim and whatnot, which will be probably carbon fiber rather than the chrome that the car has now, or had, I should say. But I think it will accent the blue that we plan on using, which isn't the blue that is in that picture. It is going to be this blue right here, which is from All Candy. It is their wet system, as they call it. The reason we're using a donor car is because, well, it's cheaper, it's easier, and it just makes more sense. You get everything you need. You get the motor, you get the trans, you get the suspension, you get the brakes, you get some interior bits if you need them. You get pumps, AC and all that. You get, hell, you even get the radio. All in a big bundle. Unless someone stole it. Now keep in mind, all this might change down the road. The motor, the trans, everything might change down the road. But, as of right now, this is what I think I want. And this is what I can afford, more importantly. So enough talking and more working on the car. back. Did you miss me? Yeah, me neither. All that's left before we get the donor cart is the bodywork, which isn't going to be sanding and patching and so forth. But instead we're going to be manufacturing all new skins for the car, but not out of steel, or carbon fiber, or any composite for that matter, but out of aluminum. But before we get into making the body panels, we made a mistake. You see, we put flats on the English wheels we had, and those flats were not intended for what we thought they were. See, on the forums, people were saying that flats help. We saw a couple videos where people were saying the flats help on the wheels, and so we figured, well, we could put flats on them with the lathe. Well, yes, we did put flats and they were fine, but it just was making everything worse and harder to learn and more frustrating, and at the end of the day we decided it'd be better to just resurface it rather than dealing with the flats. So that's what we did, and this is where the footage picks up. So the jig that you see us using, we made ourselves. It's just 2 pieces of plywood, a couple of bolts, and a little bit of ingenuity. So basically the bolt pivots at a certain spot, which we marked out radiuses for, like 7.5 degree radius, and so forth. Basically you just measure out and mark where you want the radius to start and end and whatnot. And so we did all the math, and this is the little jig we came up with, and it works great. It may not be precise, but it's the way that we found that works for us, and it did the job well. As you can see, this is the first grind, and I would say that that's not too bad. Here's the second grind, and finally the third grind, where we also cleaned it up a little bit with some sandpaper. You could also make this jig without a lathe. You don't need a lathe to do this. You could make it with a drill and just make a mount for it and chuck it in the drill with maybe a rod or something. You know, it's not that hard. It's just we have a lathe, so we just used what was available for us. And it's just a cheapy little Harbor Freight lathe. I can hear the purists crying. But that's what this car is about. It's a learning process. We're learning how to do it. And you know that if you like this kind of content and you'd like to keep up, you can get smaller updates and just more frequent probably updates on my Instagram, which is at Bandito El Burrito or _ or you can keep watching on the YouTube channel, which probably won't be uploading very frequently with videos, just because not a lot of progress is being made right now. But whenever progress is made, we will definitely record, and I'll keep you posted on Instagram. And if you'd like to message me, or maybe even have some chit chat about the car, or maybe your own car, go ahead and also go to my Instagram. Either DM me or just go on one of my frequent posts and tell us about either your car. Tell us, you know, what you think about my car. Or you can do the same in the comments section down below. Tell us a little bit about your project, or maybe even tell us some ideas you have for this car maybe. Hey, we may include your idea. You never know. Until the next one, see you around.